All right, guys and girls, students, people, let's talk about some sonnets, all right? I'm gonna post on Edsby directions on how to do a sonnet. I'm gonna go over those directions first, hopefully eliminate any questions before we get started. So, Shakespearean sonnets. Let's start with the most famous Shakespearean sonnet. We're gonna talk about Sonnet 18. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? I know you've heard this before. So, what are the rules of a sonnet? We got sonnet requirements. Must be 14 lines long, right? Must have 3 quatrains. What is a quatrain? It's a set of 4 lines and 1 couplet, which is a pair of lines. They rhyme with each other. Must follow the rhyme scheme ABAB, CDCD, EFEF, GG. What does that mean? The last word of each line, right? If you look down here, right, this is Sonnet 18. So we're going to look at the end of each line. Day, temperate, may, date. Date and temperate, right? They don't maybe sound like they rhyme because of the way you pronounce them, but they do rhyme. So it says 3 quatrains, sets of 4 lines, right? So you have four lines, right? That's the first quatrain. Qua means 4, quatra, 4. So then you have the first 4 lines, right? And the rhyme scheme, how they rhyme with each other is AB, AB. All right, what does that mean? Well, if you look up here, I have a line across here to show you the first 4 lines. Day, may, they rhyme with each other. So they're letter A, day, may. Temperate and date, they rhyme with each other. B, B. Why did they get B? Because day doesn't rhyme with temperate, right? So you start with the first line is A, next line doesn't rhyme, so that gets a new letter. Third line, may, day, they rhyme, gets the same letter. Fourth line, date and temperate, B, B, they rhyme, so they get the same letter. All right, you follow me so far? Hopefully. The second quatrain, the second set of 4 lines in your poem. Shines. Shines doesn't rhyme with day or temperate, so it gets a new letter. Shines. Shines, declines. They rhyme, they get the same letter. Dimmed. Dimmed doesn't rhyme with any of those other ones. It gets a new letter. Dimmed, untrimmed. They rhyme, they get the same letter. Now you start to see the pattern. A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D. E, F, E, F. Fade, shade. Oast, grossed. We'll talk about why oast and grossed are written like that in a minute, because that's another thing, right? The last 2 lines, GG, they both get the same letter because the last 2 lines are called a couplet and they rhyme with each other. C and D. C, D, GG. So that's the rhyme scheme. Let's go back up here for a second. So you might be asking, what are these things up here? What are these green things? Well, Shakespeare sonnets are written in iambic pentameter. The heck is that? Well, penta means 5, right? Iambic pentameter means that there's going to be 5 stressed and unstressed syllables per line. What does that mean? Well, this little U looking symbol here means unstressed. The line means stressed. And you notice they alternate. So when you say it aloud and you're stressing and unstressing, you start to get a beat or a rhythm. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? right? You get something that's sort of like an up and down beat, right? Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Now, you don't emphasize the beat that much when you're reading the poem, but it's in the background. Now, if you count 5 stressed and 5 unstressed syllables, you come up with 10 syllables per line. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? 5 and 5, that's 10 syllables. Every single line is 10 syllables, right? Look at the next line. Thou art more lovely and more temperate. 10 lines, right? Stressed and unstressed syllables. Now, what does all that mean? Well, iambic pentameter is a beat. We talked about that. It is said that the beat mimics the beat of the human heart. It sounds very romantic, I know, right? Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Bum, 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 bum. Now imagine Shakespeare using this not just to write a 14-line sonnet, but you look at his plays, right? To write an entire play in iambic pentameter, that's difficult to do. And you're going to see that when we read Midsummer Night's Dream, right? But anyway, back to the sonnet real quick. All right. So, just to recap, 14 lines, 3 quatrains. That's 3 sets of 4 lines and 1 couplet. Follow the rhyme scheme A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F, G, G. Themes of a sonnet. They can be about love. They usually are. But I know how you feel about that, so it doesn't have to be about love. It can be about anything. Envy, heartbreak, friendship, family, passions, favorite things. I don't like writing sonnets. We'll write a sonnet about how you don't like writing sonnets. Must be an iambic pentameter, 10 syllables per line. Well, what if mine's only 9 syllables? Well, it's wrong. Well, what if one line has 11 syllables? Well, then that one line is wrong. It's a challenge to do it. That's the point, right? To write something beautiful, to write something unique within these parameters. It is a challenge, but I think you can do it. I included on here a template for you, right? I would print this paper, I would handwrite it first on the lines provided. It's even broken up nice for you into your sections, right? First stanza, second stanza, third stanza, rhyming couplet. So I would handwrite it here first. I want you to submit it to me typed, Microsoft Word. I'm going to post on Edsby in the grade book the place for you to submit it. Remember, there was some issues before. I submitted, but it didn't tell me I submit. Did I submit it? I don't know if I submit. You submitted it, okay? If I don't get it from you, I'll let you know. Just because it doesn't say submit doesn't mean you didn't submit it. All right, so let's talk about this poem. Because again, like I said, it's one of Shakespeare's very most famous poems, which you had to, if you're, aware of anything, you must have heard at least the first line before. Shall I compare these to a summer's day? It's been made fun of, it's been parodied, it's been in movies, TV shows, everywhere, right? That first line. So let's talk about what he's actually saying in this poem. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. One of the ultimate comparisons that somebody could make back in the day to show that someone was beautiful was to compare their beauty to the beauty of nature, because we all know that nature is beautiful. Mother Nature is beautiful. If I want to show how much beauty I think you possess, I'm going to compare you to something in nature. So in this first 2 lines, Shakespeare is comparing this person's beauty to a summer's day that are more lovely and more temperate. You're more lovely than a summer's day. More temperate means that you are more even-keeled, you are nicer, you are more pleasant than a summer's day. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. What's the problem with summer? As beautiful as it is, it has all too short a date. It doesn't last long. So if he's comparing your beauty to summer and he's saying summer doesn't last long, what is he saying about your beauty? Doesn't sound good. Maybe as beautiful as you are, it's not going to last. Sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed. The eye of heaven is the sun. Sometimes sun shines too hot. Sometimes someone is too beautiful, so hot, if you will, that you burn out. As quickly as you become beautiful, just that quickly you lose that beauty. And every fair from fair sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. The word fair means beauty. Every fair from fair sometime declines, meaning it doesn't matter how beautiful you are, it declines, it goes away. How does it go away? By chance. What does that mean? Oh, you got into a freak accident, your face got mauled, you're not pretty anymore. Or by nature's changing course untrimmed, simply by the passage of time. If you were beautiful when you were 20, you might not seem as beautiful when you're 85. That's just the way life is. That's just how it works. But then he sort of changes, right? You're going to notice in all of Shakespeare's sonnets, there is a point in the sonnet where you get a but or a yet. Shakespeare says this, and this, yet, but, however. So he's saying, you're as beautiful as a summer day. Summer doesn't last. Your beauty's not going to last. However, thy eternal summer shall not fade. Oh, well, your beauty will not go away. It's not going to fade. Well, that's good. Nor lose possession of that fair thou owest. You are not going to lose possession of the beauty that thou owest, that belongs to you, that you own. You're not going to lose it. These are good things. Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade. Well, in this case, death is personified as a person, and he's saying death will never be able to brag that death has got you. Death cannot say, haha, you're dead, I got you. You're never going to die. Well, this is interesting. Where is this going? When in eternal lines to time thou growest. When in eternal lines to time thou growest. That can mean one of two things. It could mean literal, meaning the lines of this poem, or it could be more figurative. When you get eternal lines, that could mean you're aging, you're getting wrinkles, eternal lines, right? Now pay attention to the couplets. That's very important. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. What does that mean? What is the this? So long lives this, and this gives life to thee. This is giving life to you. What is the this? He's literally talking about the poem that he just wrote. As long as this poem exists, he is saying, and people have eyes to read the poem, no matter how much time passes, they can always read about how beautiful you were. It's very romantic. You might wish someday you get something like this as a poem. And he's right, because this poem was written about somebody that he found to be beautiful 500 years ago. And 500 years later, we can still see how beautiful this person was because we can still read the poem. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that romantic? And that's what happens when somebody cares enough about you to put you in writing. That writing could last forever. It could outlive you. Long after you're gone, how are you going to be remembered? Well, maybe you're going to be remembered because somebody cared enough to write about you. There you go. So that's Sonnet 18 in a nutshell. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you understood it. He's got plenty of other poems, some just as romantic, some not romantic at all, right? What's yours going to be? Well, that's up to you. I look forward to seeing what you come up with.